Hello. First, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to submit my course, MAN 4633 MNC Strategy, for consideration in the online Excellence in Learner Engagement category for the Faculty Choice Awards of 2019. Before continuing, I really would like to acknowledge the online instructional design team for their support. Michelle Stefano has always been very helpful, and I really can't imagine how my first course would have turned out without the patient but very firm guidance of Sky King. I really do appreciate that. As we all know, online course learning is on the increase, and most universities, including FIU, intend to further expand the online course offering based on course convenience, student demand, and the technological advances that continue to make this a more viable alternative to in-class learning. With this direction, the obvious question is, does it work? Does it work? Is it effective? Now, I got to say that from listening, observing, and my own experience, I believe that a connection with students is a major enhancement to learning. Students appear to try harder, do better, apply themselves better, and become more fully engaged in the presented material once a respect-based connection is created between the teacher and the student. Now, if this connection is so important, which I believe it is, how can it be developed online? Can online students be as engaged as their in-class colleagues and gain similar knowledge and skills? Most professors, I'm sure, struggle with this question, and I know I certainly did when faced with my first fully online course. After all, we teach because we want students to acquire applicable life skills and attain success, however they define that. So if that's the motivation, are we sure that by online teaching we get there? And with that in mind, this course in particular was designed empathetically from the student's point of view. In other words, what would I want to experience if I were sitting at 1 a.m. in my shorts and t-shirt taking a college course on my PC? What would I want to see? Now, with that view as a starting point, I think the course also benefited from three other elements. One is that I sincerely wanted the student to learn, benefit, get their money's worth, and be better prepared for life and work after taking this course. Number two, I'm blessed with a family of a lot of people are in education. My wife has been in education for 17 years. My daughter is a high school teacher. She taught with Teach for America in a low performing school and also at private institutions. And my son is a PhD in communications professor at a university in Connecticut. Now, with that team, I was able to really have a lot of very fruitful discussions on what it means to learn and to be engaged, and of course on the online learning engagement, and exchange those ideas that really was invaluable to me. Now, the third element I find to be important to understand is the realization that just because you're in front of a course live does not mean engagement is guaranteed. You have to work at it. You have to develop that connection, that respect, and that ongoing relationship really with your students in order to help them go from doing well to really trying to learn. So an effective online course, you need to be just as forceful, just as proactive, and try at least as hard as you do on a face-to-face course to make sure that engagement comes across. Now, just going to the course layout. As you can see in the modules for the course, I use videos extensively, all the way from the syllabus introduction to the course lectures, to help the students learn and to get them to feel like they know me, that I'm their professor, and they can see, what it's as close as you can get to a lecture type demonstration, and that you can keep modifying that according to current events, etc. It's easy to do. I use quizzes on a weekly basis. Basically, they encourage them to do the reading. If they do the reading, the quizzes are easy. If they don't do the reading, they're not so easy. But I tell them up front, the quizzes are there to keep you reading. Make sure you read and stay up. The tests are all straightforward and clear. I give test reviews with a lecture on PowerPoint slides prior to each test. So I really want to make it as clear and transparent and ensure that focus and fairness are found in their test. I use case studies and discussions, and these are used because they allow the students to express themselves and so I can see whether they've actually picked up something and learned from the reading, the videos and the PowerPoints, that they've acquired something that they can repeat back in a way that is meaningful. There's a rubric for the case studies that they can use and make sure that they follow along. And I also give them clear instruction on how to do the case studies. What I want the case studies is to be as much like a business and work environment as possible. If they were to present a suggestion, recommendation at work, what would that audience want to see? And I think this helps them become more professional. I use a number of videos and PowerPoints and slides in the modules to illustrate business-related concepts that I found are helpful. For example, I use learning activities that include personal ethics, strategy development, logical writing. I may not even test them on these. I just want them to know that these are things they can use to be better professionals. And I really think that comes across when you're trying to explain to them and you care for them and you want them to do better, and you're giving them tools that will allow them to be more effective in the workplace. A key aspect I found in this course is that you need to provide these elements to allow the student to respond. And then from there, the commentary that you provide on their responses is invaluable. And it gives I see from their comments that the coaching type response, that they say something, I look at it, I say, okay, you've got that, but I think you could enhance that a little more if you looked at it this way. Think about this, try a little harder, push yourself a little more. That from the comments and that students have made seems to be very, very effective and much appreciated. Finally, why do I think this course deserves submission to the Excellence in Learner Engagement and for the Faculty Choice Awards? And further, why do I think I should win this? How does one prove excellence in learner engagement, for example? Well, I know the reviewing committee has access to the spot review things, but I think they do show engagement, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to just note a few of these. Best professor online, he's always on time when I wrote message about the course. If he teaches another class, I'd take him again. Great job. One of the best professors I've ever had. Outstanding professor, cares where they end up in the future. Best online professor at FIU. Best online class professor I've had in my academic career. Great professor for an online course. Answered emails, etc. Love this class. Very fair professor. Interesting topics. One of the few online professors that truly cares about student success. He's very knowledgeable and gives the best advice. Professor North, by far the most professional, motivational, intelligent, kind professor I've ever had at FIU. Online, the content of the course was excellent. The course was incredibly challenging in the best way. Always introduced interesting, thought-provoking discussions and case analysis. And this is the best online class that I've gotten the most feedback on when turning in my assignments. He constantly checks up and tells the word improve. Obviously, look, I'm happy to get those reviews, and all my spot scores are high. But that's really not the point. The point is, they're engaged. They feel they've been in class. They feel they've had the opportunity to learn. They feel that they've had the opportunity to interact and grow. And I surprisingly found that there is a true respect-based connection with these students, even though you don't meet them until they take a face-to-face class, that I think is really interesting. It's fascinating to me. I've enjoyed it very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to experiment with this and find ways to really engage students in this form. Once again, thank you very much for reviewing this. I hope it's beneficial, and I would certainly like to answer any questions or discuss online learning further with any of you that are interested. Okay? All the best. Thanks a lot. Bye.